Very happy to come to here again. My name is Patrick. I'm the co-founder of the Quantum project. Thank you for the support. Today I want to give you a brief overview of the blockchain industry and also the overview of the ICO, the new concept in this industry. Okay, so I will go through a few topics. I think we have a half hour to do the presentation. First, I still wanted to give you our understanding of the blockchain, and then about the cryptocurrency and the token economy and the tokens. And also beyond the cryptocurrency and the ICO, what we can do in the blockchain industry, and also the truth of the ICO, because it's very popular and it's very crazy. So how can we get a full understanding why the ICO happens and what's gonna be happening in the future? And also I wanted to introduce you what we are doing right now in the Quantum project, and also at the end I want to introduce you the Quantum team. So the blockchain, for myself, I joined the industry since 2012. So it's already been 6 years for me. Even I'm only 28. So it's already 6 years since I joined the industry. What's the real meaning of the blockchain? How can we get a full understanding of the blockchain? So the blockchain is not only a new technology, it's not only a new like a cryptocurrency, it's not only about the Bitcoin, about the Ethereum, about the quantum. The blockchain is basically it's a protocol. I mean, all the biggest companies today on the internet, Google, Facebook, they build their business model based on the information or symmetry. What's the meaning of the information or symmetry? The information or symmetry means like the bigger company, they always have more information than you. So they can build their business model. Like Google, they organize all the information on the internet and then they redistribute the information to you because they can charge the advertising as advertising fees as income. It's the same as Alibaba. They match the buyer and the seller together, so then they can charge they can build their business model. That's how the internet company are making money. But all these big companies, all these service, it's possible because we have the TCP/IP protocol. It's a very basic protocol. You can transfer information peer-to-peer on the internet. So the blockchain, it's a new protocol. The Bitcoin is the first successful example. In 2008, we have the Bitcoin white paper. So it's the first time in human beings' history we can transfer the value peer-to-peer. So the blockchain is a bigger concept more than cryptocurrency. Basically it's a protocol on the current internet layer. So the blockchain, it's a peer-to-peer. We created the trustless data transfer protocol on the internet. The trustless data is unique data. They have the value. And also the blockchain are changing the business because it's changing everything from the information or symmetry to an information symmetry network. The information symmetry network means everyone have the same information on the blockchain. No one can cheat on each other. And also the blockchain is more than the technology innovation. It's beyond the technology. It's also about the thinking, about the mental change, how we design a more fair reward system for our society, a more transparent system, a more high efficiency economy system for the whole society. So it's changing the world. It's changing something through the trust to the trustless service. What's the meaning of the trust to trustless service? Because earlier, no matter what kind of service you are using, you need to trust your service provider. Like you are using Uber, you are using Airbnb, because you trust the service provider, or you trust the escrow, one of your escrow service. But the blockchain on Bitcoin network, you do not need to trust anyone. You can make sure your transaction will be processed by the network because it's based on the mathematics and the computer science behind the network. So we should have a very good understanding, a correct understanding on the blockchain. So this is the first successful cryptocurrency. That's a Bitcoin network. it's at the very beginning, it's a peer-to-peer network. But right now, okay, the network become a layered network right now. We have the layer one. The layer one is the proof of work and the consensus. It's the first layer of consensus. And then we have the layer two consensus. And we have some kind of centralized service around the Bitcoin network, like the wallet service, like the exchange platform, like OTC market around the Bitcoin ecosystem. That's a reason why we need some regulations in this area, because all these centralized service again involved with people. It's not only about the mathematics anymore, it's involved with people, like the exchange, the OTC market, the wallet service provider. So if you involve with people, okay, then we need a regulation to make the market is more fair to everyone. So the Bitcoin basically is a very successful cryptocurrency. They want to solve the problem. You can transfer money peer-to-peer on the internet without any third party, without any middleman. So, I mean, everyone is talking about a cryptocurrency, and last year we witnessed the market went too crazy. So what's the core idea behind the cryptocurrency? Why the cryptocurrency happens? It's happened for some reason. Even without Satoshi, we will have some other people, they will develop some other cryptocurrency. In truth, the cryptocurrency is not a new idea. It's an old idea since 1990s, maybe 30 years ago. We have the cyberpunk movement in Silicon Valley. At that time, people wanted to create some cryptocurrency. Want to create some cryptocurrency on the internet. Yeah. So what's the core idea behind the cryptocurrency? First, it should be peer-to-peer network. That's the basic principle of a Bitcoin network, because the peer-to-peer means like everyone is equal on the Bitcoin network. You always have the same right as other people, and because usually all the traditional financial service is based on the centralized service model. Like if I deposit my money to the bank, then I do not know how the bank is processing the money. But on the Bitcoin, it's different, yeah, because you are transfer your right to the bank, so then the bank have the right to process your money. So, but Bitcoin is different. It's peer-to-peer, and also it's a permissionless. It's very important for the Bitcoin early stage development, because the permissionless innovation, it's good because that's the original start point of the internet. At the beginning, all these protocols, it's a permissionless protocol. You can do any innovation you want on the blockchain network, even on Bitcoin network, Ethereum network, or quantum network today. You do not need to ask any permission or license to join the network or to create the network. And also the information symmetry is like for one Bitcoin phone nodes, you can get the full information of the Bitcoin network. Yeah, so you get the same information as other people. And also, the Bitcoin have a very good design because it's a native the money management solution. Like you can use multi-signature. It's more safer than you store the money, maybe even in the safe box in the bank. The multi-signature, it's a programming money. It's a programming currency. So you can have your own logic in the Bitcoin network. And also, yeah, Bitcoin is simple, secure, stable, and store the value. It's designed to be a currency. You cannot build applications on the Bitcoin network because it's impossible. And also the information symmetry, like if everyone in the society, they get the same information, then that means like you cannot cheat on other people because you cannot tell another story. Everyone are telling the same story. So it's the information symmetry can lead to the trustless and the consensus. Why we have consensus? Because we all believe like the Bitcoin network will obey the same rules, obey the same algorithm, obey the same minimum principle on the network. So everyone gets the same knowledge on the network. Yeah. So the Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is a very complex things because it's involved with technology. It's also involved with the currency features. So is it a currency religion or is it a big software? So if you think Bitcoin is just another huge software, then we need to update the software so to make it better. And also, the cryptocurrency, for sure, it's a long way to go because it's something so new, so young. So it's a long-term confliction with all the regulations, with all the current situation in every country, not only in China, Korea. I think it's globally. Yeah. So the ICO tokens, yeah. The people are talking more about the tokens right now since last year. So what's the real meaning of the tokens? I have my own understanding. So from my understanding, the token concept become popular because of the ERC20 token in last year, and also in quantum we have the QRC20 token. But the token is not really a new concept. In 2013, we already have more than 1,000 colored coin, what you can call it the 1,000 token on the Bitcoin network in 2013. But most of the token failed. Yeah. So why the token become crazy? Because the token they really bring some new creative idea, new disruptive idea to our current economy system. Because the tokens is like they are promoting. The tokens can promote a more fair reward system for the society. That's our people why they want to invest to the ICO. And also, the token can lead to the cryptocurrency to lead like the what we call it the crypto economy. It's a more accurate economics than the current microeconomics. Yeah. So they create some new ideas, some new series in the token economy industry, and also all the tokens, you know, they change the individual's role from the consumer to the shareholder. Like if you are the consumer, like of Facebook, you are using the Facebook, but you have nothing to do with Facebook stock market because you are only the user. But if you are a user in the Ethereum network or the quantum network, you are also one of the shareholder of the network. So because we do not have a centralized company behind all the public blockchain platform. It's a community-owned platform. It's community-driven. It's a community value. So it's really different from our company structure. So that's bringing a lot of problems. Yeah. So for the tokens, I mean, it's a more flexible way to start a new organization. Because earlier, if you want to do a startup, you need to register a company and receive the venture capital investment. Yeah. But right now, you can start based on the protocol, blockchain protocol, you can start a virtual organization. Then you can have your own community. You can have your own supporter. Yeah. So it's more flexible to start a small business. Yeah. To get the initial users. Yeah. It can also help people to release their potential and their creativity. Yeah. I mean the token. It's the token is a very interesting topic. Yeah, but it's not something new. Yeah, but also the token bring a lot of risks because I will talk a little more about the ICO in the next few page. So the token economy, for sure, we need a more legal framework. We need the tax framework. We need the organization framework. We need the auditing. We need a global cooperation. Yeah. So let's talk about something about the token economy. Why the token economy happens? Why we witnessed last year at the highest point, the cryptocurrency market almost like more than $800 billion. You know, it's take Apple company 30 years to become $800 billion, but it's only take the cryptocurrency market like 8 years. When you compare with the Apple company, it takes 30 years. And also a very interesting thing is like we do not really have a centralized company behind this cryptocurrency market. Yeah. So it's something you can see it's a very fast growing market. Yeah. And we can see the token economy is becoming more and more popular. And so because the token economy opened a new window for the large scale corporation. Earlier, that's the social, that's a society program because earlier like if you wanted to organize the the societies like talent, the capital, the money, you need a company structure. Yeah, but the company structure can involve some of the people, but not all the people. So, but the token economy, they create a new way to organize all the resources in the society, so they can offering you the better products or the better service. Yeah, and but you know, so it's a more flexible organization structure than the company structure. And also, it's changing the business from the centralized business to a decentralized business. Everyone can become a shareholder of a business. Yeah. Earlier, it's impossible because only few big guys or few venture capital, you can be the shareholder of some very good startup. Yeah. And also, another reason why this thing happens because the technology is it's growing very fast. But all the regulators globally, in China or in Korea, in US, all the regulators, they didn't really understand or didn't really awareness of the why this thing happens. Yeah, so they are behind the technology. Yeah, and also, but the token economy have some problem. It's a very disruptive idea, but still today we do not have the valuation model. It's not like the company structure. You know how to do a valuation for the Apple company or for the Google company, but for the token economy, tell me the reason why Bitcoin worth $10,000 today and tomorrow is worth like $30,000 tomorrow. What's the reason? Yeah, what's the difference? But you know, the token economy, basically, all these platforms, smart contract platform, anyone can release your own token. So that's for sure will bring some bubbles. We call it the long tail asset bubble because like there are some bottom asset, it's not that good. Some of the tokens is meaningless. So it's a bubble, some of the asset. And because we witnessed this bubble, we already seen this bubble in 2013. So the token economy, why this thing happens? Because people are always irrational crazy on the new technology, on the new idea. In 18th century, we have the steam power. In US, we have 3,000 US companies. They want to build the railway station. They want to build the railway. But at the end, only maybe 4 or 3 companies survive from the railway bubble. And in 2000 years, we have the Nasdaq bubble. A lot of companies, if you brought a domain name, the .com domain name, your stock price can double overnight. Yeah, so it's for sure it's a bubble, and a lot of companies failed. But still, we see some great company. They rebuild their business model from the bubble, like Google, like Amazon. Yeah, they survive from that bubble. Yeah, so the reason is like people are always irrational crazy on the new technology, so they wanted something new. Yeah, so it's happened again and again. But sometimes the bubble can accelerate the industry to have a faster space. Yeah, have a faster pace, so they can some of the new technologies they can survive. Yeah. Okay, we talk about the tokens, we talk about the cryptocurrency, we talk about the tokens, yeah, we talk about the token economy. So let's talk something about beyond the cryptocurrency and beyond the ICO. What's the long-term value of the blockchain? Yeah, so basically Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. The core idea behind the cryptocurrency is decentralization. That's the first idea. So that's the basic principle for the Bitcoin network. Like Bitcoin have a lot of full nodes all over the world. It's like a bank. You have a branch in more than 200 countries and more than 10,000 branch all over the world. That's the biggest banking service. Yeah, so that's a reason, maybe part of the value of the Bitcoin. And also, Bitcoin is very secure, simple, stable, and used to store the value. So Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Zcash, Monero, all these is just a digital currency. It's not a platform because they can only be used to transfer the money. Yeah, but also, okay, in 2014, we have another concept. We call it the platform concept. The platform concept, Ethereum is one of the best example. Quantum is the example in last year. So the platform concept is really different from the cryptocurrency concept. The platform, they have the smart contracts. You can program your own logic, your business logic in the smart contracts. Yeah, but still we have a lot of problems, technical problems, like we need to solve the scalability problem, we need to solve the privacy problem, the independence problem in all the platform concept. We need to solve the funding model and the governance model problem for all the platform concept. But the platform have the potential to build something more than cryptocurrency. The platform have the potential to become an infrastructure to offering everyone the trusted service in the future. It's like the internet. It's an infrastructure like water, electricity, like internet. So the platform have the potential to become a trusted infrastructure. No matter what kind of business you are building, in the future you will move some of your economy part on the blockchain. Yeah, so that's the big potential of the blockchain. It's have the potential to become the infrastructure for our society. Yeah. So quantum is okay. We build everything based on the Bitcoin, the currency layer, but we build some virtual layer. So you can support the all kinds of virtual machine, like Ethereum virtual machine, or the Quantum x86 virtual machine, or even the WebAssembly virtual machine. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin network. So you can see it's a very big network. It's more than 10,000 phone nodes, and there's maybe even 100,000 SPV nodes all over the world. So it's really a very big network. It's really a big software. So everyone, you can access the network, and you can create the network at any time. It's bigger than the biggest bank in the world. Yeah, because and also there's like no permission to join the network. If you go to the bank, you want to open an account, you need to do the QIC a lot more. I'm not saying the QIC is not good. The QIC is good, yeah. But the Bitcoin network, they are using another philosophy, another different idea. It's a permissionless network. Everyone can join the network. It's like the internet. Everyone, you can visit the internet at any time. You do not need to get a permission to visit a website. Yeah. So that's basically you can find it's very similar. Yeah. So okay. So this is the quantum network. Bitcoin network they are using the proof of work. So you need to do a lot of mining equipment to maintain the network. But quantum is using the proof of stake. So it's more energy friendly, and it's more business friendly in long term. You can maintain the quantum nodes in your own personal computer, but you can never do this for the Bitcoin network right now because it's an ASIC mining. But earlier you can do the mining in your personal computer. So okay, let's talk something about the trustless platform. That's also the very meaningful part about the blockchain beyond the cryptocurrency, beyond the ICO. So what's the meaning of the trustless platform? This photo is about the biggest company, the real estate company. The home link. They are renting the house from the house owner to the house renters. They hired maybe, I don't know how many people are working for this middleman company. They hired maybe 30,000 people. All these 30,000 people, all they are doing is signing the contract every day. Yeah, signing the contracts. Yeah. So this kind of stuff, it can be it can be easily replaced on the blockchain through the smart contracts. Because the smart contract is more like a virtual agency or a virtual middleman on the internet, on the blockchain network. If you want to hire 10,000 people, it's very hard. Yeah, but you can virtualize 10,000 people through the smart contracts with your own logic. It's very easy, maybe a few minutes. That's the best part of the computing. Yeah, all the computers they are very good at it to do the repeat work. Yeah, so that's this have the potential to, the smart contract can become the virtual agency, the virtual escrow service, the virtual man for all our society, for all the business transactions in the future. Because you do not need to hire someone to do to process the transaction. You can do this through the smart contract ability. So that's the potential, because the blockchain can serve as a clearing and settlement protocol for many business activity in the future. Yeah, and also the smart contract is a trustless virtual agency, and it's a virtual agency or virtual people on the internet to manage your money and to manage your data. And you can trust the smart contract because the smart contract is purely mathematics and some programming code. Yeah, no one can scam you as long as the smart contracts doing some security check and formal verification. You can trust the contracts. Yeah, and also so that makes the blockchain become a trust service provider. The trust service provider is very meaningful in the society because a lot of business you need the trust between the two party, between counterparty. So if you can find an easy way to build your trust, to set up your trust, you can lower all the cost for all the transaction, not only the financial transaction, maybe even the supply chain, even some healthcare industry. All these logics you can put it on the smart contract in long term, not right now. Yeah. So the trust service is like the internet. It can also can lower the cost for the society. Can help build a more efficiency economy. So that's a virtual. We call it a virtual productivity. So the productivity is sometimes contributed by the people or by the machine, but the software it's also a virtual productivity. And sometimes the software is more important than the people, or even than the device or than the machine. Yeah. So okay, let's talk about the choice of the ICO through the photo, through the diagram. You can still see that's all-time cumulative ICO funding. I think until end of last year, there's like a 12 billion USD dollar being invested to the ICO project. That's 12 billion. That's a huge amount of money. Yeah, invested to the industry through the ICO. So it's something no one can ignore today. Yeah, and also the monthly new ICO funding is still a lot. Yeah, even today with the market come down right now, but still we have globally we have more and more projects they wanted to do their ICOs. Yeah. And also you can see the number of ICO because in 2017 and in 2018, I mean it's just the start of 2018. I'm thinking like this year for sure we're gonna see more ICO project. Yeah, it's something unstoppable. Yeah, and also yeah. Okay. So then, what's the advantage and the disadvantage of the ICO, and what should the government should do to solve the problem? Yeah. So the advantage of the ICO because it's a very disruptive innovation for the investment. When you compare to the venture capital, yeah, venture capital take a long time to close a deal. All the ICO is almost instant investment. You can finish investment in 10 seconds. Yeah, one transaction on blockchain, you finish your investment. It's a 15 seconds. Earlier, when you're doing an investment through traditional venture capital, it takes 3 months at least. Yeah, so that's a big difference. Yeah, and also it's a more efficiency capital market for creativity and for startups. Yeah, because it's so efficiency when that's a reason why so many people they are wanted to raise ICO rather than to ask money from the venture capital. Yeah, so that's something it's a shifting it happened. And also, it's promote a more fair reward system for the society. How do you understand this? Like, when the Alibaba go to Nasdaq, the people who made the most money, okay, the founder made the founder made some money, but the people who made the most money is a SoftBank. They have 20% of the shares of Alibaba, so they are making the most money. So it's like all the big venture capital, they can make money based on the money they already have. So, but for the Ethereum ICO or for the Quantum ICO in 2014, there's like 10,000 people participate in the project. Every average user, every consumer, you have the chance to participate in some great project in the next few years. Yeah. So that's really a very big difference. It's a very low barrier for average user rather than a very high barrier only for venture capitalists. Yeah. So that's a reason why we say the people they feel maybe they get a more fair reward system in the ICO market rather than in the stock market. Yeah. So the disadvantage, yeah, ICO is a very new idea. It's only popular since last year. It's bringing a lot of problem, a huge problem. The problem is like everyone should understand that ICO it's a very high risk investment because it's even earlier than the angel investment. Because the ICO sometimes a team only have a white paper or only have an idea, they ask you for money. Yeah. So it's it's a very high risk. Even than the seed investment or the angel investment. And also, it's a low barrier. For sure, it's low barrier. Everyone can participate, but it's full of speculation. And still, we have no valuation models for all the projects. It's a purely I'm not saying it's purely a speculation market, but maybe 70% is a speculation. Yeah, that's the current situation. And also, there's a lot of qualified investor and unqualified investor. That's a problem. Like a lot of things happens this year because there's still a lot of investor. They are buying the ICO because they think they can make money, not because they really understand the project or they really believe in the project and what they are building, or they really want to support the project just because they want to make some money. So there is some qualified investor and unqualified investor. So what the government should do? First, something is happening. It's rather than ignore the things or just not deal with the things. I mean, we should be more like positive or be more like take a very serious attitude on the things. Yeah. So maybe the sandbox is a good way, a good approach for the innovation. It's you can control the risk, but still you can watch the things happen. Because in long term, I think it's people will figure out a way to regulate this kind of ICO market, and also to protect your investor, your citizens. Like I mean, a lot of people they do not really understand the market, so the government should be awareness. Like it's a high risk area, you should educate the people. You should educate people to give them the risk reminder. Yeah, it's a high risk area, and also. Even for the ICO project, there's a lot of ways to make it more regulation, to make it more. To make all the ICO project, it's better. It's like you can take a reference as a public company. You always have the information disclosure process. I mean, after you raise the money, you should tell everyone how you spend the money, where you put the money, and how is your updates, maybe monthly updates of your projects. Because when you are reading the ICO, it's already become a public company. So you should realize it's a public company already, and then you should follow some basic rules. Yeah, that's something I think we can do. And also, yeah, for sure, there's some legal legal framework. The utility token, the security token. Then you should ask the experts in the financial industry, experts in the blockchain industry, make the regulation together, talk to each other, negotiate with the community, the startup founder, the government. Yeah, I mean, it's some problem we can solve. Yeah. Okay, I want to introduce you what we are doing. There's a lot of technical stuff, so I will not really go to the technical stuff here. Basically, we are building something like based on the current Bitcoin Ethereum ecosystem. We wanted to make a more unified ecosystem, and we changed the consensus from proof of work to proof of stake. So it's more like more business friendly, and we design a better governance model. Because another challenge for the public blockchain is like we have no company structure. That means like we do not have any clear governance structure for the public blockchain. Who can make a decision for a public blockchain? Who can make a decision for Bitcoin network? Who can make a decision for Ethereum network? Who can make a decision for quantum network? Yeah, so that's still something. We are people. We live in the real world, so we still need to make a decision for the software. So that's something. In quantum, we develop something. We use smart contracts to monitor the network. Then something happens, we can involve people to do the voting, and then we can make a decision. We call it the quantum decentralized governance protocol. So it's something we are working. I think it's very good for long term for the industry. And also, yeah, the industry, the technology itself is still a lot of problems. Maybe in the future, we need to involve with the identity on blockchain. So the government do not need to worry about the money laundering or the KYC, because everyone can get your identity on the blockchain. All the address can be verified. So it's the same as the banking service. It's more easier to do the auditing, to do the tax, to do all the financial related service. It's possible. I think that's the next. That's some change will happen this year or next year. People will realize the blockchain. We will need to go to the real. We will need to go to the real economy world. Yeah. And also, yeah, but also for sure, the blockchain developer community is a very early stage. We are building the x86. We wanted to involve more developer. They can use C language, C++ to do the programming. Yeah. So that's something we are working on too. Yeah. I mean, the innovation, we did a lot of innovation. It's very technical. That's very different about the blockchain industry, because the blockchain industry sometimes is very technical, and it's really hard for the average user to understand what they are investing. Yeah, what they are buying. They have no concept. Because on the exchange, every token, every platform is similar, just a symbol for the user. It's like you are buying the stocks. You are not really understanding what is the company's business model. So it's something same in the cryptocurrency market. But still, for the project, I believe the blockchain is a long-term industry, 5 year, 10 year, 15 years. It's not for tomorrow or for next year. It's a long-term industry. So for the long-term industry, what should you do is like no matter which country, no matter which project, you should focus on to bring some long-term value. That's the only way you can survive through all the bubbles. Yeah. So we are working on to bring the basic, the very critical, very age-like innovations in this industry. We designed the quantum AL, we call it the account of abstraction layer, and we have the proof of stake as the consensus, and we have the quantum decentralized governance protocol to make the blockchain have a better governance. Yeah. And also, right now we are focused on the Quantum X86. It's a new virtual machine and some enterprise use case. Yeah, and also, and we call it the layer 2 solution. The layer 2 solution, that's the future of blockchain. We can really extend the blockchain from a clearing and settlement network to a trustless platform. It depends on the layer 2 solution. It depends on how can we use the Lightning network, state channel, or the write network, or the even plasma, or some ideas, or the 2-bit, all the scaling solution you can use to make the blockchain network have the same ability to process the transaction as the current banking service, as a centralized system. I think the blockchain have the potential to process all the transactions. Yeah. So that's something we are working on. Yeah, so that's our team member. And also, you know, every blockchain project is a global project. You cannot really say, oh, Quantum is a Chinese project or Ethereum is the American project. It's not like this. We have global team member from 9 countries, and the foundation registered in Singapore, and we have one office in China, but we also have an office in Silicon Valley, and an office in Sweden, and also the office in Belarus. So it's kind of a very global, very distributed developer community. Yeah, myself, I joined the industry very early, so I'm leading the project. So, and we have Neil, he's a tech lead of the development work. We do not really have the title CEO, CTO stuff, because it's a public guarantee company, it's a foundation structure, so you do not really, everyone is almost like the same, but we are already in the project, so we are leading the project. And we have a global team in 9 countries, yeah. So, yeah, that's my email. So if you have any problem, you can reach me through the email. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dai, for the presentation. And you mentioned during your presentation a couple of times that for ICOs, there really isn't a universal valuation system. Nobody really knows how to put a value on an ICO project.
Yes.
Bearing in mind that obviously, like Quantum, like Neo, or other projects, there are a wide variety of projects out there. Do you believe there should be a universal valuation standard for ICOs? And if so, do you have any general ideas on what that should encompass roughly?
Yeah, I mean, right now, there's still a lot of work, because the industry is so it's a very early stage at the industry. It's like the traditional market, you know, maybe in 1930 in the Wall Street, you know, a lot of company, they release their stocks. So at that time we have no valuation model for the company. But then we have all these accounting system for the company income, for the company's revenue. Then the Nasdaq, they have the valuation model, like they can give you a valuation. When you go to Nasdaq, they will give you a fair valuation. But today, you know, the startup, it's hard to do the valuation, but there are some ways. There are some like economy research, like economics research, like how can you do a valuation for the currency feature? How can you do the valuation for the currency? Maybe it depends on the amount of the currency and your circulation speed, and maybe how many users. So, but we need a more specific research in this area. And also, you know, even it's all about the tokens, but the different tokens, they have different use case. Like there are some of the tokens, they only use the token to give the incentive for the people to join the network. But some of the token, like for Bitcoin, people already use it to do the payment, to use it as an anchor of the value. It's like a digital gold. Yeah. So this kind of currency, I mean, different currency, I think it's belong to different type, different catalogs. Yeah. So that's also very different. So if you want to make a general valuation model for all the currency, I think it's hard. But for the currency feature, for the platform feature, I think we need more research. Yeah. But it will take time to make everything more more formal, make everything is like more regulated. We need more time. Yeah.
네, 좋습니다. Thank you for your answer and you may return to your seat.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. 네, 고맙습니다. 이렇게 해서 우리 대표님께서